Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Charlotte. I'm posting videos weekly and I hope you enjoy these videos and subscribe if you haven't already. We're gonna jump right in. I got some requests to do a video about how I chose my nursing school and what kind of factors went in when I was making the decision back in high school. So for those who haven't seen my other videos, I currently attend the University of Pennsylvania School of Nursing in Philadelphia, and I decided to go there for a lot of reasons, all of which I will talk about in this video. But if you're someone who's interested in going to nursing school, there's a lot of great resources to check out when deciding. I'll link some of them down below, but keep watching for some factors that should go into your decision because it is a big decision. Choosing your college is a 4-year commitment, so make sure you are really feeling great about your decision, confident in it, and you're really excited about it. All right, so the first thing I think you should keep in mind is location. So a lot of schools are located in different types of environments. When I was applying to schools, I tried to apply to some that were very rural and suburban, and then I also applied to some like the one I'm at now in cities, because if you're applying to nursing school in a city, there are oftentimes more hospitals and more opportunities in that sense, but it also can be super overwhelming. So if you're the type of person who doesn't want to be somewhere crazy busy all the time, then you could apply to those more rural suburban schools. So I did apply to a mixture of both because I wanted the ability to choose, and then I ended up, after finding out where I got accepted, I went and toured them all. And I decided on Philly because it was a city, but it was smaller than other cities. Like, I didn't apply to any in New York really because that is just too overwhelming for me. So I applied to Philly, which was a city that made sense to me, I was comfortable in. You also want to decide how far too far away is for you, because you're going to be moving somewhere and you're going to be away from your parents and the people that you grew up with. So you want to make sure, if you're somebody who really likes being around your parents and feels like you don't want to really go too far, then find one that's closer to home. If you're someone who's like, I want to get out and see the world, then you can go somewhere farther. It's different for every person, and a lot of times your parents will have some input in the distance away from your home that your school is, because they're also going to be feeling lonely and wanting to visit you. So talk with them about that, and you can come to a decision together about how far is too far. So first factor, location. Decide where you kind of see yourself going to school and then apply from there. The second factor I think is super important in deciding a school is tuition, financial aid. Now, this might be something that is giving you anxiety or worries about going to school, but a lot of places do offer really good financial aid, so tuition can be reduced drastically. Mostly schools that are private, those will have better financial aid usually because they have private grants and donors rather than state schools. But if you do go to a state school in the state that you currently live, you can get a discount. If paying for college is something that worries you, you should research their financial aid department and the average package for students that need aid, because that can tell you a lot about the school's funding and how much you could receive. I know for some people cost is not really an issue, but for others that can be really a worrisome thing about school and going to college, because it's an investment, it's a 4-year investment, and you want to make sure that you're really going to be able to do it. So try to look into that beforehand, before applying and before falling in love with the school, if it's a concern of yours. So my third factor that should go into your decision is the rigor of the college that you're applying to, and if you think you'll be able to handle the course load. So when you're applying to a college and you get accepted, you want to try to look at the amount of classes you'll be taking and the difficulty of those classes if possible. Some colleges will have websites that have student reviews for their courses, something like that. So check those out, because you want to be able to go to a school where you're being challenged in your classes, but not to a point where you're suffering so much and it's taking a toll on your mental health. You want to go to a place where you're just it's just a little bit harder than what's comfortable for you, because then you are pushing yourself to learn these things, but you're not being swamped in work. You want to be able to be in a nice level there in terms of course load, homework, assignments, things like that. My fourth college decision factor is clinicals and the clinical schedule. So for nursing students, you have to do what is called clinicals when you're in nursing school. And clinicals, for those who don't know, are when you go to the hospital and you're on a floor and you follow the nurse around for a shift and you help with the patients and you put what you've learned in the classroom into use with real patients. So clinicals are probably the most important experience you're going to get out of nursing school to prepare you for the career in nursing and healthcare. So you want a school where there's a lot of clinical opportunities, because this is where you can also figure out what kind of specialty you're really interested in, and it can help you figure out if nursing is right for you and if you do want to continue pursuing it. So a lot of schools will start their clinicals junior, senior year, but I think starting clinicals the earlier the better is one of the best things you can do. So if you can find a school that starts clinicals, beginning of sophomore year or end of sophomore year, that would be really great, because you're getting in there, you're jumping in, and you're learning from that experiential component from early on. So you can look for this on the curriculum or academics page of a nursing school's website. You could also you can reach out and ask someone. You can ask current students, anything like that. But definitely finding out when those clinicals start is really important, because you want to try to be at a school where you're getting your prereqs out of the way earlier, so you can really start getting into the nursing knowledge and getting into that practical side of things. Because we're entering the healthcare field, everything is pretty much, experiential learning, practical, using skills to help patients. So you got to make sure that you learn that as soon as you can, so you have time to develop those things. One thing that is important for a lot of people when looking at colleges is what kind of opportunities exist to learn outside of the classroom. So this could include things like study abroad, or maybe a community learning course or something similar. So your school's website should have these outlined. Study abroad would probably have its own category. Some schools, like mine in particular, have a community service-based course outline. So they have classes that do half classroom learning and half learning out in the community, and you're helping people in your school's location. So if you're interested in these kind of things, look into them early on and see which schools offer them and which schools don't. This will help you weed out the ones that don't and help you make a decision based on what you're really interested in. But don't feel like you have to do these things because you're going to college and you feel like everyone does. Not everyone chooses to study abroad. Not everyone chooses to do, community learning. But if you do wish to pursue these opportunities, definitely look into them when you're applying and once you're admitted. And my last tip for deciding on a college is super important, and that is looking into the school's extracurricular offerings, clubs, things like that. Because when you're in high school, you've narrowed down a little bit the things that you're interested in. It could be a sport or music or debate, theater, anything like that. So you've kind of narrowed down your interests outside of the classroom, but it's really important to build on these when you're at college, because you want to get time as an outlet away from school, and you want to be able to use these interests and these passions to make friends outside of your classes. Some schools have a lot of options when it comes to extracurriculars and some don't. So you want to make sure that your school that you want to go to has the things that interest you and will allow you to find a community in these passions that you develop through high school. And also you could use, clubs and stuff in college to find a new interest or to meet new people that you wouldn't think you would hang out with normally. So extracurriculars is really important as that outlet for stress, as that outlet for school, things like that. And just to build your support network in college. Things can get really stressful and hectic, so you want to make sure you have people around you that are encouraging you and supporting you. So extracurriculars are super important to look into. And these you could also find on most college websites under student life or anything like that. those are usually there. So those are the tips, factors that I took into consideration when I was deciding on my college. I hope that they'll be helpful for you, because deciding on a college can be very stressful. There's a lot of things that go into it, but try to find one that it feels right to you and feels like you're going to fit in there, because if you see yourself going there and you can picture yourself walking around campus and being in their nursing program, then it's probably right. And if you want to make sure it has what you're interested in before you decide and put your deposit in on that school, because you're going to be there the next 4 years and you want to make sure that you enjoy those 4 years, because college is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and you want to make sure that you can get everything possible out of that experience that you can. I hope you find those tips helpful, and if you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you are someone who is already in college and already obviously chose, put any other tips or factors that you took into consideration in the comments down below so that they could be helpful for viewers who haven't decided on a college. I also have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Those are all linked in the description below, so go follow me on there. That way you can get notified when I post new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.